live or subscribe to my channel and support me that way. Any support would be greatly appreciated. Can really use it. Right, so yeah, starting really late today. Sorry guys, I had a late night, so yeah. Weather today is cloudy, snowy. It just stopped snowing, but it was, oh yeah, still a little bit. It's like on and off snowing, and yeah, so just look at the roof there. Just stopped snowing. Yeah, I did not expect the new year to be like this. Because, I mean, it doesn't really snow all that much here in the Netherlands. And usually when it does, it's melted off very quickly. But yeah, not this time. It's just a full-blown winter snow over here. Right. So, it is Sunday, the 4th of January 2026. Temperature is 2 degrees Celsius with 85% humidity, 18 kilometers an hour wind, and 47% precipitation. Yeah, so quite a bit. Very glad I can stay inside today. Tomorrow, I really hope it's going to be a clear day, because if it's going to be like snowing in the evening, the early evening, like, yeah, I might literally not go, because I have to go there in my bicycle, and if it's going to be like that, like, dude, I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit off, but this might also be because of the extra coffees that I've been drinking again yesterday. I really enjoyed it, and it did make me sick. And yeah, a bit of a headache, but we'll see. We'll see. Just gonna keep going. Right, also I'm depending, but I think I'm gonna forego tomorrow's early bird show on Monday. And I'm just not gonna do that. Give myself a little bit more preparation time. So we'll see how that goes. Depends. Right, but for now, I got a show and it's Sunday and plenty of things have been happening out there. As I expected yesterday, there would be like an expose on InfoWars about the whole Venezuela thing. And there was. And it was kind of like interesting. And like weird mixed messages, narratives, like war narratives, and then I don't know. You just have to watch it. But yeah, it was like, as an operation, it turned out to be pretty interesting because they were indeed very quick and they had 0 casualties with the military. So that's very impressive. Like, as a military feat, the Venezuela thing yesterday was very impressive. It was a very short window in which they did basically everything all at once. Very well coordinated, very meticulously planned and researched in order to accomplish such a result. It is very impressive. Right. Of course, it does rattle some cages with the left and with China and Russia, because it does shift the balance a bit. Right, so logically, I could imagine that Trump doing this, also with doing it, kind of breaking his election promises. Of course, it's not very much of peace president. Again. So yeah, I mean, this might also be the starting signal for Russia and China to actually make some next moves themselves. That's kind of like how it works with geopolitics most of the time in these kinds of circumstances. So it's like it could be that Russia will, for example, take this as a sign like, oh, okay, so if we just do it really quick, you can get away with it. They might take out Zelensky really quick. Just basically, because, I mean, they could have technically done that from the start, but for some reason they chose to not go that route, like to immediately end it, but actually use it to kind of like test and start up their military a bit. It's choices. But yeah, maybe they're gonna do something like that, or maybe not. Maybe they're okay with it. Really, they just have to officially protest. I mean, in a lot of ways, Maduro was like, just kind of like Saddam Hussein, a CIA asset. So, and I mean, even Trump, like in his speech, basically said like, yeah, it was set up by the CIA too. So it's like, yeah, of course it was. It's all the plans. These are all like super old plans, and they're now just like fulfilling it. As I was saying yesterday, like I know that's how that works, what they're doing. And I mean, there have been like, I have seen some videos about celebrations. There's a lot of Venezuelan people that have fled Venezuela because the regime was absolutely terrible in many ways. Like, they were real neo-feudal style communists, terrible, and they confiscated like all kinds of stuff. Very unreasonable, very harsh. And so yeah, a lot of people are very happy and relieved, and they might even want to go back. Because they literally have fled, not because they want to exploit another country, but because they fled that regime, and so they might want to return. So yeah, it's not all bad. He had it coming for a while, but I mean, so do a lot of other people out there. Right, so that was going on. I finished watching Mind Unveiled's video on Frankenstein, which was just massive, like psychotically large, very meticulous, very like he basically reviewed all Frankenstein things, like all the movies and like all the books too. It's like a full works about it, and it yielded some puzzling things. I mean, that episode is definitely one to make you think, because it like also like loops back into the Adam and Eve creation story, which is kind of freaky. To just kind of like get the real original story roots and see what society has kind of done with it over the ages. It's pretty mind-blowing, really. So yeah, Mind Unveiled did it again. It was a very good video, even though just monstrously long. Part of the reason why I'm late, because I stayed up this time. I did really stay up until 6 to watch it. I just like I can't cut it off again. I just want to sit through it, and it was worth it. Alright, so let's see. Huh, okay. That's weird. And it's weird that somebody made an entire article around it. Apparently, Nathan Rothschild, the Rothschild Empire chair, basically, complimented Trump on his Venezuela action. Well done. Business is always so freaking shady, man. And it is Trump's domain. So it's almost like you can't blame him, because I mean, that's the thing, that's his field. It's just everything that surrounds it so shady and morally dubious. Oh, it's snowing again. Look at that. See? Told you it was gonna snow again. And yeah, not a little too. Like, it's snowing pretty hard. I'm kind of glad it's, at least it's not storming also, because that sucks when it snows and it's like windy. But yeah, the snowflakes are pretty thick. Like, this is real packing snow. Dude, if it's gonna keep being this weather up until tomorrow evening, like, I am gonna cancel that appointment. Just, I don't want to like go on a bicycle through this for like 40 minutes or something. This, God, sounds like a nightmare to me. I'm just not super tough when it comes to cold, guys. I really, like, I'm not a big guy. I'm kind of skinny. I tend to cool off quicker. And I mean, that's a real advantage when it's hot. It's a real disadvantage when it's snowing and super cold and freezing. I do not like it. My Indonesian genetics do not like it. I mean, they appreciate how beautiful it is, but it's like, snow? That's when you stay inside. Anyway, cheers. It's amazing. Like, it's just like that. It's snowing again. Oh my God! Global warming. Oh my, yeah. No, it's just swings and oh, whole period of no snow in the winter. Huh. Oh no, it's gonna go wrong, and then just right back. It's just like, yep, there's it back again. Remember that? That's just how nature is. Yeah, I doubt that there's any kind of like geoengineering process, like that they made it snow. I don't think so. You would be able to tell. It would smell. You would smell it. And like, they don't do that. But yeah, the weather, it can just kind of swing in the Netherlands. It really does do that. It's not always the same exact weather pattern every year. It's just not. And it's all like, one thing that I do remember, like when it snows, it's like always way worse in Germany, which is much more land inward. And since the Netherlands in its entirety is pretty much like a giant coastal city region, its coast area, you just have less heavy snow. It's like more averaged out because of the exchange with the sea air. So If it's snowing here, then you can bet your ass it's snowing really hard in Germany. That's usually like how we reason out, and it does turn out to be like that. And by the way, same goes pretty much for all types of weather. Like if it's really rainy, then sometimes floods happen in Germany. They very rarely happen here. Like that's extremely rare. And like we got really good waterworks, and no like. Because it's all pretty much flat and barely any risks of like things like landslides or sinkholes. Like that sort of shit does happen in Germany. Germany's a much bigger country too, guys. Right, because it's all land inward, so the weather is more extreme land inward. Right, and I mean, in Russia, dude. It's like, dude, I love the idea of Russia. It's just, I just don't see myself thriving there. It's just too freaking cold. Like, I'm not white enough to be able to appreciate it. It really much comes down to that. I'm sorry. I'm kind of embarrassed about it. Yeah. I just don't like cold that much. And I mean, it doesn't mean, oh, I want to be on some tropical island. No, I like the moderate. I like the Netherlands climate. It's in between. It's a little bit rugged, little bit cold, but also kind of nice and warm, but not super cooking. It's just, I like it. I like this. This is where I was born. And this is how I've grown up most of my life, like vast majority, 99% pretty much. More than 99%. Because I've only really not been in the Netherlands on holidays, so never ever lived in another country. Low viscosity. Right. Somebody's still lighting fireworks out there. There's always somebody doing it. There's always one. It's usually in February is like, that's when you really don't hear it anymore. And I mean, before the new year, you hear fireworks like starting in September sometimes. And sometimes even some nutty people do it in the middle of the summer. Because I mean, there's multiple types of celebrations that, yeah. And some people just really like celebrating with fireworks. But usually in February it gets quiet. So yeah. Geopolitics. Trump's Venezuela action. Militarily impressive. Like clean enough to get away with it. Arguably. Because it's not like a perfectly justifiable thing. Again, he's failing his election promises. So it is what it is. Like, in the least terrible way, maybe. There's good reasons, and yeah, but still, it is what it is. Like, I'm not gonna harp on about it, but I'm also not gonna like, okay, let's just forget about that. Like, no. I take things as they are, and then keep it that way. Let's see, what else? Jesus. Holy shit. That's... yeah, there's all kinds of articles on InfoWars rolling out relating to Venezuela. Apparently the US Coast Guard seized half a ton. 500... Wait, no, that's 5 tons. 500,000 pounds of cocaine in 2025. Jesus. Dude. That is so fucking much. That's insane. Like, how do you even produce that much? And like, what are they doing with it? Like, dude. I mean, everybody, guys do realize they're just storing it, right? They're storing it, and they're gonna use it for later. They'd be crazy not to, really. Because the era of parties will come back at some point, and then it's like all the money making guys, they are gonna go full coke again, and well, needs to come from somewhere. I mean, in a way, this is also what the CIA does, right? They are also the drug dealers, so they are probably gonna confiscate some of that, or like safeguard it until like at some point it becomes legal, which, I mean, it's not even that unreasonable. Maybe. I mean, I am technically for a lot of like legalization, not fentanyl though, because that is like just too dangerous. But in general, like, I do like to always fall back to like, yeah, legalization of drugs. Not that I like druggies or anything. It's just, it's more free and it's more cost effective. If it's illegal, it costs like to enforce it, and it actually then creates more criminality surrounding it, and the criminals making more profit out of it. So just for a tactical reason, it's like it should be legalized, but still like frowned upon. And like really put the responsibility more to the individual. Right, I don't know. It's like a bigger picture type philosophy. Right, and people are gonna do what they want to do anyway. CIA drug dealers, because both are controlled. Oh god, Fiscos, are you one of those people? Ugh, really? It's all just Mossad. Mossad does everything. Well, dude, I think Mossad is, it's actually part of their trick, that they actually pretend that they make everybody believe like they are in control. Like that is actually part of their operating system, like how they operate psychologically. So that doesn't mean that they actually are, though. It's a pretense, dude. And you're rolling right into it. Right? I mean, you think that they would like share and show that kind of stuff to, while they really wanted to keep it a secret? No. It's because they want everybody to believe that. They want everybody to believe that they are like the ultra Illuminati that is really in control of everything. It's part of their strategy. And you're playing right into it. It's like the objective, in general, like a strategy, their objective is to get as many people obsessed with them being the ultimate villains. Like, that is their strategy. You understand that, Viscosity? You understand what I'm just saying? Right? Right, if it's the CIA's strategy to make every ensure that everything that American people believe is false. Remember that? If that is their motto, their directive, then it's like arguably Mossad's directive to make everybody believe that they are in control and are like the devil. That is their objective in a way. It's the setting that they want to create. I mean, I wouldn't feel comfortable having the attitude that you do. Just because you could. Or like, it's allowed now. It's like, yeah, but, yeah, sure, you can. It's allowed. But it's what they want, though. Are you okay with that, viscosity? Are you okay with willingly playing a role that they want you to play? Are you okay with that? Right? Just because a group sticks their nose in everything, it's kind of funny with the whole cocaine thing, but it's like, oh, the situation, like the Epstein is like, oh, look, there's a Mossad person there. If they're just sticking their nose in everything, does that mean that they are in control of everything? Or that they just like to be involved? Like to have their toes dipped in everything, to know what's going on. See? Despite them sort of suggesting like they're in control and letting those ideas spread around, and behavior like what you do spread around, doesn't mean that there's actually evidence, real evidence, that they are in control. It's just circumstantial. Yeah, they might be everywhere. Doesn't mean that they're actually in control of the thing that they are at every time. See? Tip of the iceberg. You're not listening, viscosity. Are you so locked in? You can't even see beyond what you're doing. They want you to know about their level control a little bit. No. You're already taking it for granted as you're saying it. No, they want you to believe they are in control. Are they really in control? What's the evidence for this? Did you even try to figure it out? Think of it like this. If they are getting everybody to play along, does that mean that they are in control? Or does it just mean they got everybody to play along? Maybe they bought them temporarily. Or they just like have a business plan and people went along. How do you know they're in control, you see? Hmm. What is this? So a lot of stuff still rolling out about Venezuela. Lots of background, like who is who. Some opposition leader. Yeah, it's still playing out. There's a lot of some stuff to catch up with. Ooh, is that the sun? It's amazing. It's just, well, the snow is like lighting up all of a sudden. Right, anyway, I hope everybody's having a great day. Started a bit late today. Don't know how long the show is gonna be. Oh yeah. Oh, you're gonna love this one. Viscosity. It's this video clip going around, and I mean, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, this is part of their objective. Like, Israeli billionaire Shlomo Kramer, New Year's resolution. It's time to limit the First Amendment in order to protect it. Double speak. Like a foreigner telling America that they like some double speak bullshit. It's super tedious. And yeah, it certainly has cranked out a lot of responses. So I'm sure you've seen this. Here you go, there's the link. Maybe I even post it in here, why not? Usually don't do that. But this is just the antagonizing. It's like an antagonizing strategy. It's very strange. Very Jewish. And that's not even, oh god, when I say very Jewish, it doesn't mean it's evil. No, it's very Jewish. This is like one of those things that they do that's kind of weird, but interesting. It's all about, just don't fall for the tricks. If you don't fall for the tricks, they're not dangerous. They want you to see them as dangerous. It's part of their trick. Damn it. I just don't want to put Israel or Mossad in the title. I just don't want to do that. It's like a freaking lightning rod. But it is like almost like worth making a statement. Like the statement what I said about that they want you to believe that they're villains in control. Like, look, if they really truly were villains in control, think Emperor Palpatine, right, before he became Emperor. Did he secretly hint at being evil and in control? No. Because if you really are, you're supposed to hide it really well and be the good guy as much as you can to conceal that you're secretly evil and in control, and it's super strenuous. And you're not just gonna like go around and brag and basically flauntingly lie to people's faces, like double speaking to them and dehumanizing, pretending it's normal. Like, that's not what you do when you are supposedly secretly a villain in control. It's part of a play. It's a trick. Because if they really were in control, they better damn well hide it as much as you can. Because otherwise, it would draw too much attention, and then you would lose your ability to flow. You would lose the ability to work with wherever you're integrated. Because they need to trust you. If you're gonna flaunt like being a villain in control, then, well, people will be altered in their behavior because of that towards you. Towards your group. It's just... Come on. What I'm telling you is not that complicated. But maybe playing into their trick is just really seductive to some people. Because, I mean, they do offer themselves to be like the boogeyman. It's like, hello, we are the Israeli. You can think of us as the boogeyman. Yes? And some people are just like, oh, thank God, we finally know what we got a stable scapegoat. Like, we can just stably relieve some stress in that direction and not worry too much about it. Like, is it just that? Is that what's happening? Right, I mean, to be fair, they do give plenty of reason. They have done terrible things that they then try to justify, and like, yeah, it's not really, doesn't really hold up, their excuses. Right, so it's not like they haven't acted villainously, but it seems just part of their strategy to make a lot of people use them as a lightning rod, to preoccupy them with Illuminati obsession, basically, towards them. It's a trick to capture them in a polarized state. They're polarized, then they're occupied, their energy is all bound by the polarization, and they can't develop the fine senses, the information that you get through your fine senses, because it's diverted to the polarized state. Yeah, it's a tactic. It's an obstruction tactic. It's numbing individuals down so that they have less of their senses available, so they pose less of a threat, because they can figure out less, because they're preoccupied, their polarized state. I mean, this should make a lot of sense to you, Viscosity. I hope it does. The Sith were not a protected group in Star Wars society. They damn well were. What are you talking about? Have you actually watched Star Wars? Dude, when Palpatine took over, they became protected. When the Jedi were taken down, the Council was destroyed. Yeah, the Sith just, like, re-emerged. Came out of the shadows. Whatever was left. So, I don't know what you're talking about. But when the Republic turned into an empire, the Sith were a protected group. Protected by the frickin' Emperor. And I mean protected. Basically, do what I say or you die, but... yeah. Still allowed to be what they are, as long as they are, like, in line with the Emperor's will. Right? Just think of it, that's like what Darth Vader literally was. In direct protection of the Emperor. But he had to basically as a slave, but yeah, it's like a feudal type system. But I mean, he was technically above the common soldier. Alright, hope everybody out there is having a great Sunday. It's good here so far. Kind of weird having this conversation, I guess. Normally I don't talk about this sort of thing entirely or barely. And on a Sunday, yeah, it's weird. What you gonna do, right? Alright, anyway, that's it for the news flashes. Yeah. Haha, I managed to put it in the title without using the word Jew or Israel or Mossad. How about that? Huh? I did it again. Alright, it's Flat Earth Early Bird 2506. When being seen as a villain in control is your social strategy. Right. Alright, hope everybody's appreciating the show today. Don't forget to Rogan's it up and, I don't know, leave a comment. Hey, Gaining Wisdom is out there. Hope you're having a great Sunday. Oh, it's cold. I'm getting hungry. Oh, Gaining Wisdom went offline again. Let's see. Earth Awakenings is busy. Let's see who's in there. Huh. A pretty good lineup. Yeah, I might join Earth Awakenings. When I feel like it. Like, when I finish the first hour. Wow. Sick bastard. Fucking Zelensky, guys. The guy is so obnoxious. He has the guts to literally... He's telling Trump, give Putin the Maduro treatment. Bro. Projection, anyone? Dude. I mean, I've already said it. Putin might give Zelensky the Maduro treatment. And Zelensky would be lucky to get away with his life like Maduro. Because he actually doesn't really deserve that. If you know what I mean. What an asshole. I mean, guys, Zelensky, he is a trashy scumbag lowlife. A lot of these people are like, Maduro is basically a dirty bastard. A creep. But he's not like super trash. I mean, Zelensky is like trash. Like, just horrifying. I don't know. They're both terrible. But I mean, Maduro, like, his problem is like the way that the system is set up. It's so disgusting. Communist, neo-feudalist, super unjust, and that's the real problem, is that he's like, the way he governs is like a real lowlife. But he does seem to have some style though. But I mean, Zelensky is just no style, no class, and just psychotically relentless. I mean, Maduro got some people killed in his country for sure. Some of it really horrible, probably. Zelensky basically genocided like half his nation in a very short time. Like, you can't really compare that. Like, Maduro didn't like genocide half the people. Although, I mean, there are starving people in Venezuela. Damn nice superhero title. What? Superhero. What the hell does that have to do with a superhero title? Clark Kyle. Weird. No, the title is actually about Jews! Jews! It's just I didn't want to put it in there. I want people to see it and then just recognize what it's about without just saying certain names. It's like, recognize them by their ways. That's something I like to do because it's the behavior, it's not the identity, it's the behavior. Like, I scrutinize people that I deal with, that I interact with online, through their behavior. So when you honestly do that, then you must like elevate the behavior and basically erase the identity when you try to communicate what the problem is. You point out the problem, you don't point at individuals. You don't pin it on somebody. Then the ego gets involved. No, you just you lay out the behavior. And if that behavior is actually present in somebody, then they can privately recognize it, reflect upon it, and then make choices about it. And if you pin it on individuals, now it's immediately polarized. Now the ego's got involved. It's become specific. See? Your favorite superhero is the Joker? What? The Joker is not a superhero, dude. What the fuck? That's weird. What? Are Jews villains? A lot of people see them like that. It's really going around. There's like all these people that are just blaming Jews for everything. Also New York City. Sweden. Dude, I'm totally with you. There's some serious, like, Jews, some of them are legends. Like, I have a massive respect for them. But then there's another group that are like the Jews that are not really Jews, but they call themselves Jews. They hide behind the liability shield, but they're atheists and they have nothing to do with anything. There's supposed bloodline. It's just a mess. But I mean, yeah, actual like Hasidic Jews. I think those guys are epic. Like, I really have respect for them in a very personal way. And they probably don't care. And that's fine, because I understand that. It's personal. Joker's villain keep you on your toes. Yeah, well, that's how I see that's how I see the real Jews. It's like they're here to test everybody for God. Like, how do you know good is good when it is untested? See? So it's like, that's genuinely how I see them, and it's like I understand in a spiritual way. And I'm very careful with it too. Right? Exactly. Atheists that refer themselves as Jews. Yeah, and a lot of those people, they get obsessed with power. Because if you're supposedly an atheist, but then you still long for power, well, those atheists are not really atheists. They want to be God. So they are effectively Luciferian. They replace God with themselves. See? And that's like an ongoing theme, like even in movies where atheism, philosophy, and etc. is addressed. Like that is part of it, right? The whole transhumanist movement that came out of it. Yeah, it's all about becoming the gods, right? And that's every fucking story says it. It's right there in your face. Yeah, God doesn't exist, but we're gonna be them, or AI gods, right? We're gonna make them. All that. That's what it is. Yeah, I don't think I don't believe it though. I don't think we need to make a god or become gods. I think that we already have all this power. It was given to us by God, and we just need to respect it. Respect the order of things. Did I have a good holiday? Yeah. Okay. Good for you, whatever. No, my New Year's was fine. I had a New Year's stream. Clark Kent. Kyle, sorry. Clark Kent, what? Okay. Yeah. Okay, Clarkville, you keep that to yourself. Thanks. Dude. I don't need to know about your sleeping around and your gambling. Thanks. Good for you. Whatever. Hope it was all worth it. Yeah, I get it. Don't worry, Clark Kyle. I'm gonna guess that you're still kind of a young guy, so it's like, yeah, I get it. I used to do things like that too, like 15 years ago, so it's fine. Huh. Yeah, excuse me.
No.
Yeah, you're out of here. Fuck you, dude. Don't talk to me like that. Jesus Christ. I mean, yeah, if a troll says something gross, whatever, and you're literally gonna like talk like that's normal, you're out of here. Okay? If you can't even like figure that out, then you just hang around blabbering in anyway. So, yeah, just stick to the background. Okay. Right, let's take a look at Earth Awakenings. I'm gonna join up with them for a bit, see what's going on. Alright, there we go.
I was trying to tell people this the other night about that certain degrees of angle of incidence, the 42 degrees and 47 degrees, that always happens in that as it enters your eye in that angle. Like a rainbow's, everything is 42 degrees.
But we told you it's not the angle in your eyeball, it's the angle in the sky.
Right, from the horizon, right?
Right, in the sky, it's the angle of light hitting. The sun has to be under 40 degrees from the horizon for a rainbow to form. And it has to do with the light hitting the droplets in the sky. It has nothing to do with your eyeball.
40 degrees.
Well, let's not go there. But I did want to mention, 80% of refraction happens in the cornea at the edge of your eye.
The thing is, you're always bringing eye, but at the same time, you made a video with your mobile phone. The eye is not involved at all in this video.
Right, but when I was recording that, if I took my phone down and looked with my eye, it would look, exactly the same.
Yeah. So it's a literal light effect, not an effect due to your eyeball form or size or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If you have the same effect with two different optical systems, the optical system is not the reason for the effect.
Right, right, because it's just a measurement tool, right? Our eye or the camera.
The optical system is based on your eye. It works the same way.
No.
That's kind of what I'm trying to say. Is it's based? Yeah, it's modeled. Look, did you look at the website I posted for you? That shows this is where I got the idea that where converging rays versus parallel rays, right? Because it has to be measured somehow, and the camera measures it exactly how you experience it, But it does have refraction versus camera things. So the thickness of, or let's just say the width of the aperture opening, that would mimic your eye when light's coming in it and when it's not. So you would widen the aperture and then close it to allow certain amounts of light in. It's the same thing how your eye measures light coming into it. So if you see a red moon, let's say eclipse, in reality with your eye with no camera, and then you go to record it, you're going to be able to show people what you saw from basically what you saw without a camera is going to be what it's going to be pretty much exact unless you tweak the settings or something. But I just want to mention that. I'm not trying to like win an argument. I'm just giving you.
You're fine, brother. Tell them what you was telling me the other day about rainbows. You were saying some stuff about that. I won't argue with you. I'll let you tell them what they say about it.
Cool. So if you were to put a centered dot in a rainbow, from a plane or something, and get the radius, right? You could also, it would have to be the same for your eye in the very, very center point going outward. Did you guys know that unfolds in a phi ratio, giving you a 3, or you could even look at it like pi. You could always get the same, if it's a perfect circle, like your pupil, you would get the same unfolding spiraling torus, right? From the center out to the edge of the rainbow circle. Now, from the ground, we see the same half a circle or hemisphere, like we see the stars, right? If you do a star trail, well, the rainbow from the ground is exactly where from the top color red is 42 degrees off of the like I think it's, in my view, it would be 42 degrees of how the light coming from the sun downward enters your eye, and it then spirals at getting red at 42 degrees, 41 to 43 degrees exactly, right? And then as you work your way down the rainbow colors to the fastest oscillation, which would be blue or violet, is going to be no more than 47 or 48 degrees always. And I don't know why it happens like that, other than if
I'll tell you why.
Other than if it's the shape of your eye, or if it's the shape of the container we live in. The light shining through that.
The rainbow was given, when, right?
Say that one more time.
The rainbow was given on the Feast of Sevens, the Feast of Shavuot, after the flood, when God made a covenant with Noah. He put the rainbow on.
Yes.
All right. Hold on. And you can only see the rainbow at between 42 and 47 degrees. 7 times 7 is 49.
No.
Or it's 42 to 49 degrees.
No, it's 40 to 42. It's 40 to 42. Violet starts at 40 and red ends at 42. And then you have a secondary at, I think, 50 to 54 or so.
No.
Interesting.
We're going to argue about angles, but the point is, it's within the 7.
I'm going to take a 2-minute break. I'll be right back. Don't forget to Romans it up.
7 times 7, so 49. That last 7, between 42 and 49, maybe there's 52, whatever.
So
the point is,
it's
pretty ironic that the ancients knew that the rainbow was a sign, was a covenant sign, and it was given on the Feast of Sevens, 7 weeks, because the Feast of Shavuot is 7 weeks after the first fruits.
But it didn't line. You had to change
7 times 7 is 49, dude. The rainbow can only be seen at an angle of it has to be at least 7. Go ahead.
I just showed it. This one, this is made from the pyramid. I just posted an image that shows how a pyramid, or how a rainbow, and someone's hot micing. Is that RG? RG, can you mute?
Sorry.
If you're not speaking, no worries. So the Great Pyramid has the angles 42 and 51.84, and apparently those are the two levels of a rainbow, and a double rainbow is 42 and 51.84, which aligns with the Great Pyramid.
There's also 7 colors to the rainbow.
Yeah, and what do we know about prisms splitting that? Right, perfect. and we're told that our container is some type of crystalline, quartz-like structure.
I mean, Geo's was, a lot closer, but the one about the heavens thing, it sounded to me like you're just trying to shoehorn it in because they both was in the 40s.
Yeah, and 49, there is no rainbow at 49.
No, not 47. 7 times 7 is 49, but the 7 segment, right? With 7, it's 7 days, right? 7 weeks, whatever, 7 colors. The last 7 segment is 7. So between 42 and 49. And if you heard what RG was saying, those colors happen to fall between those degrees, 42 and 49 degrees.
It don't. It falls between 40 and 42.
No. Yeah, 42 begins. 42. If you count if you do 42 plus 7, what do you get, Cole?
Hey Cole, you can force the numbers as you like.
No, I'm not forcing the number. Stop. 42 plus 7 is 49, dude.
I don't care. He said between 40 and 42. That had nothing to do with 49.
No, the whole segment, the whole thing, dude. I don't know about 40. Someone's saying 40. I disagree. There's no 40, dude. Between 42 and 49. Some other guy was saying maybe 51, 52. I disagree with that.
Yeah, you can disagree with that, but that's not true. At 42 and a half. And violet is at 40 something. 40.7. There's violet. So, and at 49 there's nothing. And at 50.4, the secondary rainbow starts with red and goes to 53.4 with violet again.
Well, I guess it'd be fair to say then if we could find an average, maybe it is 49. But yeah, maybe I agree, Lion. On the 7th day, it would be rest. So that would be the final act of this human existence, right? Our spectrum we can see in. And plus, isn't it ironic that the eyes can only open as small as 2 millimeters, and then up to like 7 or 8, something like that. So maybe at the widest that our eye opens, the most light we get into the body is another way you could look at it.
So I put it in the chat. I put it in the chat here. Not to interrupt you. I thought you was done. Are you done? Then I'll say. Go ahead and finish.
I'm done.
Oh, it says 42 degrees said to see a rainbow, the sun must be behind the observer, which we said the other day. And of course, someone popped up and said, "No, I saw a rainbow with the sun right in front of it." To see a rainbow, the sun must be behind the observer and low in the sky, less than 42 degrees above the horizon. This condition is necessary for the light to be refracted and reflected correctly within the raindrops.
No, I agree.
Yeah, but there's another effect too.
42 to 49 degrees.
No, it says below 42. It can't be 42 to 49. It has to be below 42 or below. I just read that.
There's also sun halos, though. They can also be kind of prismatic.
Yeah. Okay, bro. You looked it up on Google. Fine. You want to golf clap?
Go ahead and shoehorn it in there if it makes you happy.
I think what you're saying is you can't see a rainbow below 42. It has to happen 42
it says
above,
specifically. Right? It says specifically 42 degrees and below. It says the word. I posted it in the chat there. You can read it.
Yeah, but if you keep reading, bro, if you keep reading, it actually shows 40, 42, 50, it even goes up to 54 degrees, but those are secondary rainbows. It says secondary rainbows and primary rainbows. There's more, and then the other guy said there's halos, bro.
Yeah, dude, I've seen like rainbow-like halos in front of the moon, like around the moon. The right circumstances. So, yeah, rainbow is technically like a reflection on droplets from the sun behind you, but that's not the only way that kind of light breaking transpired. It also happens right in a direct line of sight under the right circumstances.
I've seen halos around the moon too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I posted like 5 of them, 5 pictures of that above. Some of them rainbow, a halo rainbow.
Okay, so you guys agree, or you guys say that the moon is still within our atmosphere, is that correct?
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, I'm trying to get around to a point, but so if the sun is outside the atmosphere, according to you guys, but the moon is within our atmosphere, but it still shows a halo with all the rainbow colors, right? Which you see only through what, prisms or crystalline structures.
It basically just means that there's humidity
usually.
between, and that it's still
Humidity.
refracting
Okay,
the
so-
light.
I got you. So all rain then would have to have the properties of a crystalline structure to show all the rainbow colors,
Has
right?
nothing to do with that.
Well, I'm asking you guys.
Yeah, but crystals are not involved in that at all.
So only raindrops. So no atmosphere, only raindrops.
No, refraction and reflection has to do
Right,
with it.
but I'm saying you
So,
guys
and a
are saying
raindrop
it's caused by
is
moisture.
in
But
optimized
reflection doesn't
cases,
break
it's
the
a
light
sphere.
like a prism, though. Only refraction does that. It has to go through a different medium, like a droplet is a
Mhm.
different medium, right? It will create that barrier, and it will change the angle of the light that goes through it.
Yeah,
And
you
it
have
will
also
break it
internal
apart like a
reflections.
prism.
Arvin, you
So
have also
there-
internal reflections in the droplets. It's not only refraction. It's not just bending. It's also reflecting internally in the droplet.
Yeah, but that would result in a glimmer, not in
But
the
no,
breaking of the
that's-
light.
That's what causes that you see the rainbow in the opposite direction of the sun. So it reflects internally in the raindrop. It refracts when it enters the raindrop. It reflects then internally in the raindrop, and it refracts again when it exits the raindrop.
Oh yeah, that is possible. Yes.
You know that it also says with a primary rainbow, they say it only refracts and exits once, whereas on a secondary, which is like the 40 to 42 degree angle, this is for rainbows, and then on the secondary rainbow, they claim it's like 50 to 53. Well, I'm not really saying just they claim. I mean, that's how it's observed. Although that is what the kind of baseline of observation is, that the secondary is 50 to 53, and they claim that it bounces twice inside the raindrop before exiting for the secondary, but only once for the primary. You guys think that's true?
And remember, guys, also this is the maximum angle of incidence for the colors. 42 degrees is only red. It won't show, but like the maximum angle of incidence for reflecting twice is getting up to the higher frequency colors, like blue. So these are very specific, highly specific. So to be able to see all the colors of rainbows, there has to be these light rays that are reflecting red and blue, but there's also green, yellow, orange, and all that, and that's their maximum angle of incidence so for your eye to see it would be 42, then 43, so on and so forth. And then also
40, it
not
starts
only is
with
it
40 with violet, and then it goes to 42 for red.
right. So the only way this to happen going through only the atmosphere, like you guys are saying, then also you have to take out the information of your fluidic medium in your eye and the reflective indexes, because the material in your cornea, just in that 1.37 millimeter thickness, is like a gel, not water. So you have to consider all of these things to then say that moonlight and sunlight, both being different strengths, of course, are only going through, you're taking into account only the atmosphere external of your eyes. So you have to revamp, adding in the cornea thickness and blah, 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 on and on to get these. Or it's just light entering the eye and curving at the ratio of pi, I'm sorry. And then entering the optic nerve.
Yes, Take a pinhole camera. If you can see a rainbow with a pinhole camera, you have excluded any kind of effects due to the eye optical elements with a pinhole camera. It has nothing to do with the glass body of your eye or the lenses of your eye and so on. It's literally that rainbow. And you can also use a very long telescope that only zooms into the red part, and then you can tilt it to see the violet part and so on. It's not an effect that is caused by your eye.
Right. Well, it's partially that, and then it's partially, how the light travels if it's close versus far, from you. So we see the localized lighting of the clouds, which is just a big. It's bigger than most people give it credit for. That aspect of how the muscle in your lens is going to flex, like tighten if there's wider, or it's going to be more relaxed, like not tighten so much if it's parallel rays, right? Because it's not as strong of a light, I guess you would say, how it puts out light or reflects light anyway. Like, you guys think that the sunlight is reflecting off the moon and then coming, but I don't know so much if that's true. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that up and see what you guys thought. But we don't have to talk about it. I just wanted to give you guys those links. And gives you a better, poster board to look at.
All right, is there still a convo, or is anyone responding, or where are we at now?
I'm kind of lost too. Sorry. We're live with the early bird show, by the way. But I mean, didn't we want to disrupt the conversation? Really interesting about the optics of rainbows. It's interesting. If you guys want to move on the conversation, that's fine.
There's just too much going on, bro. I really don't know what's too much abductive reasoning. Because he's talking about the muscle and the cornea. I don't know. But I did want to respond to Gio, what Gio said regarding it. You need a double reflection to get a secondary rainbow. Is that what you were saying?
Well, it's saying that the water, or that the light enters and leaves the water droplets once for the primary rainbow at the 40 to 42 degree, but for the secondary at the 50 to 52 degree, they claim that the light has to enter and exit the raindrop twice. Enter and exit, twice for the secondary. That's what was. Yeah, so I wondered what
about
you guys.
What about the two polarizers? You ever heard that argument? To get a rainbow at all, to get a primary rainbow at all, you need at least two polarizers. Like, light has to go through two types of crystals. It could be water. One layer could be water, but the second layer has to be either glass or some type of crystalline structure, or possibly even another layer of water. But I'm not sure.
I could take a stab at it. I think it's the light entering and exiting your eye, creating this, the crystalline makeup fluid of your eye. Well, once it enters the cornea, it's going to read and then it's going to write information. So I think that's where the top and bottom of that, like a double rainbow almost, or a secondary rainbow.
So you're saying that.
Yeah.
The cornea itself, the lens is the second polarizer.
Yeah, well, it's the dividing line as well. And when I say dividing line, I mean as you see the top and bottom of a rainbow. So it's not just red. You're getting red and blue, which is I think it's speeding up is why you get the blue color, because it's a faster projection outward. I think that's one reason. If we don't take a firmament into effect, we're only using the eye as the because once you get up high enough, you get a full circle, right? So I think that's just the outline of like the light entering, and then it's a toroidal type of movement. So it's gonna enter in this very center of your eye, but exit on the boundary of the black part, like the pupil.
Are you just winging it, or?
No, that's really what I think. I've been studying this for quite a while, but yeah, it's an idea, theory.
Lion, I've got this video where he shows where he puts a polarization lens in front of his camera and the rainbow completely disappears. But what did you mean by the polarization? You're saying something related to how the rainbows form?
Apparently, you need 2 layers or 2, what they call polarizers. Now it's not instead of polarizer for like the ND filter polarizers. It's sort of like the Pink Floyd album, dude. You have the prism. Now, if you just have one layer of glass and you shine light through it, it's not going to do nothing. The prism acts as 2 polarizers by its geometry, right? So because the light goes in one, and then the way it splits it when it bounces inside of the crystal. But you need that up there, right? So they're saying it's the water droplets doing it. Well, how sure are we that it's just the water droplets doing it? Because when I'm in my grow room with the full spectrum LED lights and I spray water in front of my light, I don't get no rainbow color, unless you have like a mirror where the light goes through the crystal, right, on the hood, bounces off the mirror, and then when I spray the plants and foliar feed them, then you get the rainbow effect. Otherwise, you're not gonna get no rainbow effect with just water alone. When you go outside the hose, right, you'll see the rainbow because there's something else up there. There's like a second layer. I'll pull up the video and I'll show you.
Gio, the reason why you see this the rainbow disappearing with the polarization filter is because reflections do polarize light. That's why people have in general polarization filters on their camera, because they want to reduce reflections. And because the rainbow is reflected light in the rain droplets, it is polarized light. So if you now turn the polarization filter in the correct orientation, it filters out the light coming from the rainbow, which is polarized due to the reflection in the droplets. Same, for example, if you have reflections on glass surface or so, if you polarize the light, the reflection reduces, and in another direction it increases.
Can I ask a question?
Real quick, please. There's certain attachments for your cameras that you can get. They're polarizers that give you a rainbow effect, like all over the place. You just look out into the world and you'll see rainbows everywhere because of the polarizer. Go ahead.
These are not polarizers. These are basically scratches in the lens, which causes then these rainbows, circular. So it's basically like a are these Fresnel lenses, these flat lenses, similar to those. That has nothing to do with polarization. This is just like refraction on edges.
Nah, dude, I'm telling, bro, I'll pull it up. They sell it, bro. Hold on.
Yeah, but these are no polarization filters.
So can I ask my question?
Polarization, it's refraction.
I just wanted to ask, I understand the systems and polarization of light. What the hell is polarization of light? What is that supposed to actually be? I know it's something that's done to it, and apparently it transpires when light gets reflected. What the hell is it?
They don't even know they don't know the nature of light, dude.
I know. That's why I'm so curious about it. It's like, oh, they're doing something with the light. They call it polarization. What the hell is that?
It's supposed to be a particle, right? But yeah, when...
Go ahead, Lion. You can explain the globe model way better than the globers.
Well, now, hold on, dude. Hold on. No, because I want to respond to what you said, because I have here a polarizer filter can both enhance and reveal natural rainbows. Polarizer filters, they sell them on Amazon Marketplace. You're saying, no, it has nothing to do with polarizer filter. Yes, it does, dude. Just go look it up, bro.
Enhance enhance or reduce natural rainbows. You said there's a filter that just creates rainbows.
Yeah,
and these
enhances.
things has nothing to do. No, if you look to a rainbow and you put a polarization filter on it, if you twist it and point it in the correct direction, it increases the rainbow because it reduces the other light that is polarized in a different direction.
I'm not talking about that.
So is polarization like a filter? Is it a filter?
Yeah, dude, it's a literal attachment. He's talking about scratches on the lens. No, it's no scratches on the lens, dude. It's a literal attachment, just like an ND filter, just like a polarizing filter. You attach it to your lens, and it causes rainbow to appear in your field of view. Go ahead.
I'm still not getting an answer to my question. Like, what is it? What is polarization?
I don't know either, but I think it has something to do with like tilting the light wave or something, like tilting it 45 degrees, just tilting it.
Polarization.
Like rotating it.
Polarization is you got two waves. One is your electromagnetic, and the other one is your whatever it's called. You know what I mean? Light is supposed to be made up of two waves, and when you polarize light, you basically split that wave to where you only have one and you don't have the other.
So it's filtering out certain type of light because light is a spectrum. It's fast, right? You break it apart with a prism, and polarization is effectively the filtering out of specific light.
Yeah, like
frequency.
Like when you see them draw it, and they draw it like a wave that goes up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, like that, and then the other one goes left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, and it snakes through the first one that's going up and down, up and down. But they're together.
Yeah, sure.
They constantly move together. It's basically like you would take and cut the one that's going left, right, left, right, left, right, all the way down through there out, and you only leave the wave that's going up and down, up and down, up and down.
But that's all purely theoretical, though. I mean, there's no actual measured movement of the light. It's cutting off of specific light spectra. And now you can explain and mathematically describe that through light being a wave and then cutting off certain types of waves. There's no evidence it's a wave. You're cutting off certain spectra. That's it.
Yeah, I mean,
and you're blocking it, basically. You're blocking very specific... You could argue directional light.
The way they say they do it in polarized sunglasses is they literally have a whole bunch of vertical lines that are microscopically separated from each other. Like they're very close, but they're not touching. And that when light passes through them, it literally allows the light that is in one direction to come through, and the other part of the light that is in the other direction gets blocked.
Fascinating.
That's how they make polarized sunglasses.
Right.
Polarized sunglasses is basically on one plane, and unpolarized light is in all directions. That's the difference.
Right. But I mean, it doesn't prove it's a wave, though. I mean, but I understand that it would be categorized and calculated like that in order to give some tangibility to it.
Do you guys know much about photonics and metamaterials? Because it's some of these lenses are kind of like a metamaterial, and you could have all parallel rays aimed at it, but at like he said on the nanoscale, it's just like it's almost shaped as if like a ruffled chip, like certain wavelengths are, you know what I mean? So you could be letting light come through it, but it's like you say, redirecting basically on these photons coming at it. Well, which is just, you know, a wavelength measured from the trough to the valley, right, being one wavelength or however wide it is. So it's very specific. There's different polarized lenses that are very different from each other, right, to let light in a certain manner.
Yeah, but what it's effectively doing is it's filtering out very specific type of light on the spectrum. like on the square of light where it can go, it's filtering out certain things based on it's nano interactions, right?
Yeah. Yep.
But I mean, to actually suggest that like there's an actual physical obstruction of a wave that holds it back, I mean, I don't see any actual tangible evidence for that. It's purely calculated.
Well, that's how they make polarized sunglasses. Like I've watched shows about how they're made.
I know.
They physically just make a bunch of lines on really close together on a glass, and it polarizes them. It makes it to where it now.
Yeah, but that is technically another word for filtering.
I agree with you. It's saying that it's a wave and stuff. You can't see it, so it's just theoretical. I do agree with you.
Right. It's described as a wave, and then the polarization is explained like a wave is getting physically obstructed somehow. That's the suggestion, but there's no real evidence that that is what's happening. What effectively is happening, there's a light spectrum, it's a full spectrum, and there's ways to impede very specific parts of that light spectrum within a light beam or whatever through polarization. That's what's actually happening. The wave part is just a mathematical construct.
Nowadays, how everything's we're using digital technology, right? I think if the only way to using a camera to comprehend it as like you filter out certain spectrums or certain wavelengths, getting infrared or ultraviolet, so on and so forth, microwave, gamma ray, X-ray. So if everything we're using digital equipment to measure this pretty damn accurately, right? I guess you guys could agree to that. But I think the fields that are there that we are capturing has to be digital as well. So I'm thinking just up the simulation kind of theory, like I do think that we are only capturing moments as far as pictures digitally because things out there are digital, and that's the only way a camera can capture, flash and capture. But when we're doing video, full spectrum video or 4K video, like what do y'all think about that? Like, how do we, even though we can filter out certain things, that just means that they're present, they're metaphysically there.
When you say things are digital, does that mean are you saying things are consisting of ones and zeros out there? What is
no,
digital?
It's wrong. Like, the digital is the way that the information is eventually communicated, but I mean, there is no digital optics. It's optics, and then it's translated into digital code. That's digitization. That's digital.
But what is it? Is it like is it measuring the ether? Because there has to be a background to be able to,
No.
imprint things onto momentarily to read it digitally through the camera, right?
It has light receptors, sensors. The sensors give out output that puts together a full picture. That picture is then digitally inscribed into like a piece of information that can be digitally transferred.
Hold on, when you say pieces of information, like what is outside of us that you could say is tangible, like the between you, or let's say between the camera's sensors and the objects, like what is there that it's imprinting onto or off of?
Light.
There's got to be a canvas, right?
Yeah, it's light, and it interacts with chemical components that respond to light that are specifically designed to do that, to give a reaction, and that puts the picture together. The eye does the same.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So if the sensors, we don't see it flash, but there's a different wavelength flash, like it flashes in infrared, right? Like we can record that from one infrared camera to the flash sensor that we don't see. So what I guess what I'm trying to get around to is we are flashing type of wavelength of light, or basically, is that fair enough?
Well, the eyes don't pick up all the information, right? I mean, there's a full spectrum light being transferred, and our senses are only aimed at certain part of the spectra, so that's what our visuals
Doesn't
are
matter if
assembled
physical,
with.
layers are out there. Right.
Right?
You know, like on some of these NASA websites, they'll show the sun, and then in a bunch of different wavelengths, like where you can see magnetic, like you say.
Well, it's lost in the soup of information. It all depends on what is your brain gonna assemble, and when you isolate specific light frequencies for a specific part of the spectrum and like blot out the rest, then you can certainly see these patterns that they form that would literally be dissolved in the soup of the rest of the light information if you just saw the whole thing. And that's
muck is still ever present, right? It's still omnipresent, but our eyes don't see it.
No, they do see it, they just don't do anything with it. It's lost in translation because our eyes and our brains are focused on the more tangible parts of light, because we actually have to use it for like orientation. There's no point in being able to pick up ultraviolet light visually. It's just there. It doesn't help you with the function.
No. Okay, cool. But if we were to look at a full spectrum camera, have you ever zoomed in on the moon with looking through full spectrum and try to capture the stars and stuff like that as well, where you see all this wavy looking watery stuff, like, and then also if you were to start zooming in, people say digitally there's artifacts all in it, but really it's just all the other spectrums.
No,
right?
there
It's
is
all the other
artifacts
spectrums that make it look like real fuzzy, like a fuzzy electric kind of. It almost resembles like what I would think electromagnetism would look like.
Okay, well, you can't see electromagnetism, but yeah, I mean, things are lost in digital zooms and all that, because there's like digital enhancement processes that literally happen interactively in things like the P900. There is, so it picks up information, but it also like assembles it on the spot to like give you the best view based on the vantage point. Right, so there is an intermittent process digitally happening that will yield the end result picture. You don't just get the raw data, because then you would have to manually adapt to that, and that's much tougher, right?
Well, I got a couple of buddies that do this I like a lot. This one guy, he builds telescopes, right? And he has every bell and whistle you could think of. full spectrum, to where he can just like hit a button and it'll go to infrared or ultraviolet, or on and on. So you know how they talk about lunar waves, and like Crow, I don't know if
the ripple,
Crow 777, but
the moon ripple.
He was like really big about getting his video out there that showed quote unquote a lunar wave.
I know, I remember.
Use a full spectrum telescope, like all the time, and it's repeatable.
I know,
to where you want to see these background anomalies, they call them, right? If you wanted to see all that, and then you would realize very quickly that everything is waving, because like with the closer you get to the moon or stars, I mean, it starts to just get like super crazy. And then this is when people are like, no, that's artifacts, that's not real, it's not there, right?
It is,
but this is, but hold on, this is how people can write off the metaphysical so easy, is that they want to write it off to the technology malfunctions or something, or just, oh, don't worry about that.
Well, if you're going to have a very specific interpretation of what you're seeing, then yes. If you're going to like claim there's water up there because the stars kind of seems like dancing light on water, yes, that is an artifact. Doesn't mean that it's not strange, though, right? That there's artifacts just shows you there's more weirdness about this starlight, and that like digitally there's trouble like resolving it, right? So it's like hidden beneath that there is an artifact in the first instance, right? These artifacts don't occur when you film a street lantern at a vast distance at night. It only happens with the freaking stars, and that's kind of like overlooked a lot. But I mean, a lot of people, they don't want to deal with this kind of mystery. It's so weird, and they don't know why. They don't know why this happens. And so they say, oh, it's just an artifact. It's just our equipment can't really figure it out, and so we're not gonna look into what it is, right? It's a justification for people to move on.
Yeah, and do you think, like, if we were to have the conversation more and show more amateur people's work, like that, if it is consistent all the time, but in different places of the world, like with the waviness, with the with the staticky look, once you start getting real close into things, if it's real staticky and it's still repeatable, right? Would you guys want to consider that there is a metaphysical that only our staticky look picking up in all these different wavelengths and stuff?
No. There's just way more to light effects. The mystery about it is much deeper. That's really what there's a lot of mystery about light. We got this weird supposed wave particle duality shit happening, but that entire thing is a giant screw up. It's like a dead end explanation that just creates more confusion. And so a lot of it is still mysterious, and optics still reveals roots of this mystery.
Right.
Well, at the same time, the supposed space guys and physicists, they just really want to hold on to this notion that it's all been figured out. Guess what? It isn't. Right. And there's been systems inserted to mask it up, to muck it up, and so that you can pretend it's all figured out when it's actually a dead end. It's full of it. Optics is a real big one of that.
Yeah, I like to look at it like the possibilities being like different modalities of the of how things propagate, and if it's something that is ever present and you can't get it to go away, regardless of how much technology, then there's a lot of mystery left, man. Like I think.
Right, the real struggle is to have the people that are in scientific authority positions to put them out of it, because it's not been figured out. There's still a lot to be figured out, and there's misassumptions that have been seeded within the lore, within the technical lore, the engineering and the science, and they're gatekeeping it. They're gatekeeping it to remain that way so that they can hold on to their authority position granted by society because they specialized in it, and they gatekeep the actual development. That's how it functions. The educational institutes are gatekeepers. Are gatekeepers for real progress, for technological, scientific progress.
Right, and I think that's why I'm big on amateurs like that have been doing it like hobby work, I guess, for a long, long time, and just let them, get their 15 minutes of fame, and try to come to
Right.
better conclusions of
Praise those who
or
fall
at
in
least
line.
better series. Mm-hmm.
Publicly praise those who fall in line. So that's like it's rolled out to the outside. You're a winner, and you're smart if you understand the thing that you're gonna learn and abide by that. And if you're an outsider, well, then you're just wrong, or you're crazy, or you're a flat earther or something.
No, you're being sarcastic there. Now I know. Or are you being serious?
No, but that's how they then deal with it. They will.
Oh, that's how they look.
If you go outside of the box far enough, there will be responses like, "Are you like a flat earther?" Because they've heard flat earthers do that all the time. It's very normal for a flat earther to kind of thread outside of the standards, to explore that. People that aren't flat earthers tend to not really do that a lot and are more concerned about abiding to the system that's handed to them to get it right. And people pick up on that behavior, and then so they're like, "Hey, are you like a flat earther or something?" Because they've heard flat earthers do that sort of thing, so they just start to associate that. So yeah, I was not being sarcastic at all. I was being quite literal. And I've seen that happen when I wasn't even involved. Somebody would bring up like questioning this and that, not overtly bringing up the Earth being flat, but just like bringing up like second law of thermodynamics, gas pressure dynamics. You don't even have to mention the Earth being flat at any point. And people will eventually just say, "He's a flat earther, isn't he? Because this is what the flat earthers say." Even though you didn't bring it up. Just by the association of it. Because I mean, flat earthers have gone out there. Like the whole thing, flat earth revelation going out on social media, it really spread around. Everybody's got to look. Doesn't mean they all turn into flat earthers, but they all got to look at the process of what we were doing and recognize the patterns of it. Whether they agree to it or not, they just recognize what that's like. Right? So yeah, it's a thing now. Being a flat earther is like a philosophical thing to people out there that don't necessarily believe it. It's not just only stupid and being shamed anymore. For a lot of people, that doesn't really work. To them, it's like flat earthers, oh, they're just outsiders. They're kind of like just trying to find things in the dark. They're not really gonna get anywhere too much. But I mean, they're trying though. Right? Not everybody just default thinks that flat earth is stupid anymore. Actually, in the real world, the last time I've seen somebody respond in a triggered way to me bringing up flat earth, that's a long time ago now. I think the last time is like 7 years ago that I've had some kind of triggered response to it. These days, whenever you bring it up anywhere, there is no triggered response. It's just like, oh, you've been doing that. Okay, fine.
I'm gonna drop a couple links for you. What the guy I was talking about that has a telescope, and how he's tweaked it to a point to where he can get like right up on objects on the moon, whatever it is. There seems to be like 90-degree geometry everywhere.
Okay.
So that don't usually happen in nature, but yeah, and then also in the middle of a crater, they call them craters, quote unquote, there's a pyramid-shaped pointy thing to where when the shadows are, he shows so many, but if there's shadows that show up, it comes to a point, on the ground next to it, and as he keeps the telescope steady, and like very, very steady, no shaking, then the moon will move, out of, and where he's got the crater centered on his telescope, and then as he'll keep it still, you can see the moon moves, or some people say the Earth, but and then as he goes back to it, then the shadow angle on that it's angling changes as well, showing that if his telescope is still and the moon is moving and the shadow is also moving in the opposite direction, then it could just well be said, and I'm not saying this is true, but from what I'm looking at and seeing, it was so close up, is that there's another light source making that either that light source is still and the moon is moving, or the moon is moving, we're stationary, and the other light source is moving. So that's a little weird to me, but I'll drop his channel and everything so you guys can check that out, because it's newer. It's some of his older work, but it's also newer work to where he's keeping it updated, and he's upgrading his telescope as well. So you see a lot of different ways that like he can rotate as it's stationary, he could rotate the telescope itself on this type of stand. So he can not only rotate it clockwise or counterclockwise, but he can lean it up and down as well. So it gives a range of angles you can look at things. So, but yeah. All right, guys, I'm gonna mute up for a minute because I'm rambling and
all right.
Get a little breakfast.
Yeah, I'm gonna round out my show here. So, but it's been I'm really glad I joined today. It was a very interesting discussion, like a peak discussion about optics and other physics-related discussion. So I love those when it's really focused and not just a bunch of bickering. So yeah, thanks everybody for partaking in the Flat Earth Early Bird 2506 show, the second half. Yeah, hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And I'll see you the next time. Have a great Sunday. Thanks for having me.
Doing good, Arwen. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. See you later. Alright. Yeah, that was great. I'm very happy I joined that. So I always love optics, because there's so much still to actually be figured out, and my views on it are kind of niche, I guess, exploratory, negating certain preconceptions, presuppositions, in order to try to figure them out. Like, what's really going on, to get a clearer view on it, and this helps. The whole rainbow breaking effect and the polarization, what is that? Just ask the rudimentary questions. What is it? And then you get the story, then you figure out, is there actually evidence for this story, or is it just this is the pattern, and the story really makes the pattern make sense intuitively? Because that's what I think that's really happened to the explanations of light a lot. Even by the descriptions of what the words being used, like frequency, right? Electromagnetic wave, it's all baked into it on how to interpret it. Right. Anyway, I'm gonna round out the show. It's been 2 hours, 8 minutes. Not much more chat activity in the Rumble chat. Hope you all appreciated it. So, yeah, rounding out. Thanks everyone for coming. Hope you liked this show. If you did, then please don't forget to Rogan's it up. And if you haven't already, Follow me here on Rumble and be here when I'm going live, which is normally 2 p.m. Amsterdam time every day. And please also